Hi, this is Nedrick. I'm just actually doing a quick breakdown or a slight breakdown of Patrolling Part 2, which is the second in the series created by my brother and myself, my brother being Jermaine Fraser, and myself, Nedrick. Um, yeah, we created this project, just a joint thing to basically bring about our ideas of just doing animation and, certain things as a joint. And, we haven't, we worked together briefly, but this is more like our, you know, kid, basically where we're just putting out there and just saying, hey, we have the power to do certain things. But anyway, this is just a quick breakdown of the animation. I'm not going to get too in depth, but I wanted to just, basically bring the focus on the program called Flash, Micromedia Flash. Um, a lot of people view it as being, as a weak secondary tool or something of a sort. And I just wanted to brighten the light. A lot of people who use Flash know the power of that program. You can do a lot of different things, animating and doing game development and so forth. And it's a very powerful application, or I would say powerful tool. It's not normally to be said as to be the singular um, program out there. There's so many different things you can use or combine this with. So basically, as you can see, it's just a quick banner or bumper for the animation. I'm just going to go quickly through it just to try to isolate and certify a lot of different things. I'm going to turn off the sound if the sound is not off already. Okay, it's off. And basically, as you can see, that's the title, Patrolling Part 2. And it gives the name of the two creators, my brother being the narrator and writer, and myself being the animator, sole animator on this project. Um, and I'm just going to go through a few little quick nitbits of things. For example, just how the animation process of what I do. There's several layers, but the primary layers being the mask layer, the primary layer, secondary layer, and the background. If you look closely at certain of the animations, there are a lot of little minimalist things in there. But in this animation per se, you would notice that there are little elements, like say for example one of the characters here, this happens to be Tina. I only animated in a certain segment of her body, being her hand. There are more things that I would have actually done, per se, but I just focused solely on just her hand motion, just to try to isolate a different kind of animation. I mean, not different kind, but just pretty much the animation. Very solid. And let me just go back out. And yeah, has we have the main one of all the main characters here being the commander. That's Tina, that's Gina. There we go. The different background layers, isolate different things with different lighting effects and so forth that I created just for this. And if you look at these others here, these are just pretty much. This was the original build for the character from Part 1. And I, of course, updated it to be the Part 2 line art that I'm using, which is similar to my other animation, Cosmic Clash. Different things in the background. So just jumping through. Here we go. So this is more of a little bit more complex breakdown, where it have different layers of things. As you can see, that arm motion. I'll play it down so you can actually see. There we go. Quick breakdown. Nothing too crazy. And each layers within the layers, you can see scene. I break it down into whatever scene it is, scene 1 or scene 6. Within scene 6, there are different parts. So if you click on him right here, you see scene 6 captain, that reference to the body. And I'm waiting for my computer to not freeze. This will take a few seconds. In the midst of it, I've used many different programs, to interact with. I've used 3D programs to build the 3D motifs, being the vehicles. As you can see, the vehicle over here, being this would be the second ship, third ship. This is actually embedded in the first primary ship of the vessel. Here we go. Finally, there we go. So I break things down. 2 different frames just for that animation. I'm going to try to move a little bit faster because basically this computer has a tendency to freeze. At the top I have something called my metronome, basically for musical timing. I actually create that just so I can time the cuts, and each time it makes a click, I switch over to the next frame. There we go. Braking. There we go. The ship. Very simplistic vehicles, and I'm just going to slow down on the animation here. You can see the different mount movements. Just talking. There we go. And then I'm just going to jump ahead a few frames to something a little bit more interesting. That's interesting. I'll go in. Nah, I'm not even going to go into depth with that one. And here we go. Different parts. So here we go. So this segment is actually in the teaser, a 7-second teaser I made. So I'm just gonna break it down to colors so you can see what the heck is going on there. Get rid of the background, other highlighting effects, and we focus on just the animation. So each thing was actually, most things were really redrawn out. So here we go. I'll go down to the rough outlines that I do. Rough outlines, rough outlines, rough outlines, rough outlines, rough outlines, rough outlines. So pretty much trying to, like, make you aware that, there's so many different things or possibilities with this application called Flash, but a lot of people seem to knock off as being, oh, you cannot do this or you cannot do that. It's pretty much limited by who you are, by your potential. If you want to do anything, you can make it do anything you want. This program is not, it's pretty much a tool. That's what it really is. It's just a tool, like any other tool out there. This was probably one of my other more complex frames. I go breaking it down. Yes, I'm making you see all behind the scenes because it doesn't make a difference right now. It's already out. Another slightly more complex scene. I have to unlock that frame. And there we go. Let's see, so many different things going in there. And there's so many more things I wanted to do in the animation, which I didn't do, but save that for the next one. Next animation I make will hopefully be a lot more superb. But that's as far as I'm gonna go. I'll probably just go down to the last frame, maybe. Yeah. There we go down here. Just jumping ahead. Bring it out a little bit more. There we go. And yeah, pretty much I have all elements, every element that I use within this animation is broken down into different segments, entirely broken down, showing every kind of things. So you again, it's just a tool. It's just like many other tools out there. There's Photoshop, After Effects, Flash, Flame, Combustion, any 3D programs, Maya, Softimage, Illustrator, Maya, Softimage, Rhino, Blender, Houdini. But you utilize the tools to the best of your ability or its ability of what you want to actually capture and do, and get it done. Okay, and until next time, farewell.